I've got a few things set up where I thought, we get certain questions that come through. You guys see it when we're on the Facebook Live. We get those same kind of questions here. There's only a pool of, say, 10 or 15 questions that really come at us from people. And there are some things that I have exposed in the past that everybody's like, wow, I didn't know that. So I'm just going to go through some kind of basic things today. Hopefully, we can illuminate some things for some of the new people who may see this on recording. Perhaps if you are watching us on Facebook Live and you do have a question, you can tap into that meeting key that Leandra is going to populate in the chat and come on in and ask a question. Before I get started, does it need to be a new person, Leandra? It could be old, he or she could be young. We are equal opportunity here. Does anybody have a comment or question before we get going? Anything we want to talk about today while we got each other on the horn?
None, but we got 20 members.
On Facebook?
20 in general.
Okay, perfect. That's great, man. All right. So any questions, comments? Dana, how are you doing on your, and I don't mean to put you on the spot. I know you're walking around, and I think we may have broached the topic on Monday, but how is your free CBD thing coming, your analytics?
I lost you there for a second. I had an Amber Alert come in on my phone and it kicked your sound away. So I was like frantically trying to figure out how to turn you back on.
Well, I think they have their priorities maligned.
It's going well. I have had about 130 clicks. I've made 28 sales from it. I mean, I've had, 28 people come back and order.
Mm-hmm.
I actually sent some free CBD samples to a friend of mine last week and just got an amazing text message from her a couple of days ago, basically like, you just rocked my world with this CBD. I sent her the 1,000 milligram. I sent her like 4 samples because she's just a really sweet friend and a single mom, and her son's best friend, my son. And anyway, she's just had some health struggles. And then I sent her the samples of the 500 milligram pain balm as well. And she had shingles right on the heels of me having shingles. And so she's used it on her rash. She's like, it's totally clearing up my rash. She said, the 1,000 milligrams is changing my life. She's like, it was the missing link, and just, I've got it. This has to be in my life from here on out. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason for the program, you guys. I mean, we know that we have analytics to tell us what percentage of people come back and buy. And I would say right now, in fact, I don't need to, I would say, we're pretty steady at 25% of all of our sales being new customers. So 75% of our sales are returning customers. So that's a really good ratio. That's, it's almost like you're, roughly 25, 30% on your, we're talking clicks to sales. And I want to, I come from a sales background, so it may only be for me, but I would like to make a clarification here. It's not 131 times we made a phone call, right? It's not 131 times that we went to somebody's house to meet with somebody. That's 131 times people on their own click got free, and then somehow a portion of them get free CBD. And that would be the next thing you'd want to know is how many actually got the free CBD, Dana. And I can find that pretty quickly for you too. How many order, but if we're going from clicks to actually sales at 27%-ish, I can't even imagine what that percentage is actually on people who receive the actual oil, Leandro. It's going to be a lot higher. Does everybody agree? So
I'm super happy with the results so far.
You should be. Those are good results. I mean, those are good results. So it begs the question. Like, I was in the office yesterday, and my son James has Invisalign. So Stacy and James go to the orthodontist. I hear about the appointment after the orthodontist, and I got a little frustrated, which is not too usual for me. But the question was, like, he was not wearing his Invisalign. So now we got to, go backwards, buy trays and do all this stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute. I can't believe that the collective of adults decided to continue to engage in this activity that's not producing results, which is James wearing Invisalign. So to me, it's just like slap braces on the young man and let's move on with our life. The frustrating part, and I love my boy, and I'm pulling for him. I'm on his side. I hope I'm wrong, but how many times do we, twofold question, do we engage in activities that absolutely produce negative results in our life? And we know what those are. I mean, if you're a smoker, hey, there we go. And listen, if you're a smoker, I'm not picking on you. We all have our cross to bear. That was just easy to grab. The point is, then there are times when we engage in like working out. When I work out, man, I feel great. When I read every day, I feel great. Why don't I do that every day of my life? It's crazy, right? Why do we not engage? So when I see something like this, Dana, where I'm saying, okay, I don't really have to go anywhere. I don't really have to spend any money. All I have to do is broadcast this free CBD, and we have real solid. Because Dana, your numbers are a microcosm of the company's numbers. It's eerie how close those percentages are. So if we hear of an activity, and I'm going to let you speak here in a second, I got to shut up. If we hear of an activity or see of an activity that's working for someone, why don't we do it? Just like, why don't I read every day? And I've got kind of an offensive saying that I have. It's like when you see, a really overweight person in the gym, it doesn't mean the gym doesn't work, right? It's like, we know the gym works. We know the free CBD platform works. Go ahead, Dana.
No, you're right. And, I was thinking about my business today and how long I've been with CBD BioCare. And it's March, and, Julia's the 1 year anniversary of her passing is coming up on the 15th. And, I've just been really sort of reflecting back on my business and when things really picked up for me, and just realizing, having an aha moment and going, you know what? It's always got to be bigger than the sale.
Amen.
Like, what I'm doing can't be about a sale. It has to be, there has to be a deeper motive. There has to be something that's driving me to get up every day and talk about CBD that doesn't involve money, because my sales are not what they were 14 months ago. I think they'll get there again because I love what I do. But if it was only about the sale, if there wasn't anything else driving me, I probably wouldn't still be here.
I can almost guarantee it. And we talk about that too. It's that farmer's mentality, right? It's like there has to be a faith, and there are going to be times when we're working and we're not seeing the results.
Right.
Right. I mean, I know that if I haven't worked out because of my back issues like a month and a half. I know when I go back, when I first Stacy and I always joke about it. Like after about the third or fourth trip back, when you hadn't been for several months, and you take your shirt off and go, how am I still fat? It's like, but the point is there's that point of there's always those seasons where we're working, especially when we're doing something new, and we're putting forth the effort, like a farmer puts forth the effort when he plants the seeds and he tills the soil first, plants the seed, nurtures it. There's a lot goes on and a lot of work that's accomplished before you ever see a sprout, which is metaphorical, the results. And that's why we talk about it's got to be about people. It's got to be about something bigger. There's nothing wrong with money, but I'll give you an example. I was on the Nicaragua call last week, and there's a guy by the name of Bismarck. I like Bismarck, and he works for it's not a limo company, but it's a car company where they transport people. And we're going over, I think I told you guys, they got kind of stuck when I asked somebody, they said, we want success. That's how they say it, success. And I said, well, what does that mean? And it was crazy how everybody kind of aggregates definition. So when I say success in a room full of 10 people, unless there's coincidence, there's going to be 10 different meanings of that word. And that stumped them. So now we're on this train of like, okay, I picked somebody based on conversations that's in the room. It's a big room of his English students, all adults, by the way. And I said, okay, you're next week. And Bismarck said that he wanted to own his own car company, and he wanted to make $1 million. And I go, man, for a Nicaraguan guy to have that kind of dream blew me away. It was awesome. And so I really edified him for his dream. But then I asked, why? What does that mean? Other than being able to tell somebody you're a millionaire, which I think is, cool, if that means something to you. But why? What does that look like? What does that produce for you? What does your life look like? What does your work life look like? What does your family life look like? What does your home life look like? Really begin to dissect and dive in and get off of that 30,000 foot view of what we call, money or success. What does it mean to you? And I think when we have that bigger dream, Dana, when we have the season like we did with that young girl and all the people that we met, and you remember we even had sales reps rallying and donating commissions over the weekends so we can buy them oil. I mean, it really brought out the best in all of us. And I mean, I literally have chills as I'm talking about it. It's sweet. That was a sweet time. But that passion, the chills, the knowing of what we're doing, the having a bigger dream than the almighty dollar or something materialistic. What does that mean to you? I mean, even if it's a car, it's materialistic, but that's a sign of something. I remember, my dad gave me a Rolex years ago. Leandro, I tell you the story. Years ago, my dad gave me a Rolex, beautiful Rolex. And we were, this may be 15, 20 years ago now. maybe 15 years ago, we were broker to joker. And I know probably everybody on this call is in touch with that emotion. I mean, we were just Tap City Blues. And I had to sell the watch that my dad gave me, but it was sold for good reason because I paid mortgage and groceries for 2 months with that money. Actually, mortgage for 2 months and groceries for 2 months. It was a nice watch. And I promised that when I got out of that I was going to buy another one. So I did.
Yes.
But so that motivator, it's like, I don't, I'll give this to James. From a material standpoint, it doesn't mean a lot to me. I think it's pretty and I like it, but it's a sign of a season of my life and overcoming something and kind of that, token of celebration. So materialistic things aren't bad, but what does it represent, right? Like I want a big, beautiful house. Why? So my kids and my wife can feel comfortable and wonderful in there, whatever that is, but it's got to be bigger than something that's thin, which is money. And Dana, there's a reason that you're consistently one of our top reps, and it's because of that mentality. And that's where people get it wrong. I talk about it all the time with hitting a baseball, right? It's like, I want to read these books and I want to know what to say and how to overcome the subjection in the moment. And I want to learn how to be a better reader of people and, let them talk more. And that stuff's very, very important. But what's more important is the approach. It doesn't matter how well you understand how a baseball and a bat are supposed to connect or how a sale is to be made. If you're off balance, if your hands are in the wrong place, if you're not there mentally, it doesn't matter. You're never going to get to the point where you have opportunity to succeed. And that's what I think people miss. And that's why that's why I do what I do. Because if we want to change our lives, we don't change how we interact with people. We do, but not from, it's like going to the end and trying to work backwards. We have to change the way we think. As a man thinketh, so he does. As a woman thinketh, so she does. It doesn't happen out here until it happens here. And you might say, well, there's a little joke like Stacy today we had a party for Melody. It's her birthday today. And when we have birthdays, we do a staff lunch and really, really cool times. And we were talking about people and Stacy's like, I'll share I'll spare you the context. But Stacy's like, I think most everybody's good. There's just a small percentage, of kind of rotten people. And I was like, I kind of think it's reversed. I think most people suck. And there's just a small percent. And I was kidding, of course. But the point is, if you're one of those people where, you don't have that affection for people or you can't, that's where you shouldn't even be at the plate yet. You should be working here because people like people who like people. And we've discussed some practical things on how people perceive us. First of all, I don't really give a rip, right? I wouldn't want to walk around like, oh, I hope I please them. Oh, they're called people pleasers, and that can be a real problem. I mean, that can be a serious problem. So I'm not talking about that. But if we want to, like, one of the practical things was if I were to look at your social feeds, if I were to look at your Twitter, your Facebook, your Instagram, whatever it is you use, what perception would I have of you? Would I know more about what you don't like or what you do like? In other words, do we broadcast ourselves in the light of things that we love and adore and really appreciate? Or do we showcase ourselves based on everything that we're against? And I'm not here to judge one way or another. It doesn't matter what I think. What matters is how that activity is producing a result in your life. And is that result positive or is it negative? Does it get you where you want to go? And I think the easiest, I know it sounds cliche-ish, but I think when you're in a big group, because there's such an individual nature to each person's success, right? I think the easiest way to say it is, I just want to be the best version of me. That's it. I don't know what that is. I'm not trying to be somebody else. I don't think I'm going to arrive tomorrow. Like I said, I don't believe that there's landing areas this side of heaven. I think it's all a journey. It's all a season. And when it's a journey, well, this journey's going worse, going bad. No. That's part of the next season. It's like, it's odd to me too, man. I'm going on a rant today. Woo, I thought I was going to do something different. I ain't doing nothing different today. It boggles my mind to see people in the way that they act, and I get it, and I'm not judging it because we all have our crosses to bear. So, we're better at some things than we are in others. But I said it before. It's like, oh, why is this happening to me with problems and adversity? And it's like, why not? Like we all are faced with adversity. I shared last week on how I lost my dad a couple months ago. I thought I was doing pretty dang good until just out of nowhere, man, grief just swallowed me up, and it's like you know, my human perception is, Tom just trying to get in. My human perception is that I'm out of it. I'm good. But it doesn't work that way. It's not linear. Life isn't linear. And I know we think linear, and I know I'm all over the place. All right.
Hey, Matt.
Let me slow down. I hear somebody trying to chime in, which is a voice of reason and angelic voice to get me to shut up. Who is talking to me?
Hey.
Dana, go ahead, Hud.
I just wanted to say something real quickly. When I was talking earlier about it needing to be bigger than the sale, I wanted to share something that I saw that just was heartbreaking to me. A couple of months ago, I saw a video about a very well-known photographer. I can't think of his name now. And he was over in, I don't remember if it was, I think it was Ethiopia. And he was around a group of children that were literally didn't have enough to eat. And there was one child in particular that was trying to get to some water. And the child was so weak that they collapsed on the ground. And there was a vulture that was literally lurking and waiting for that moment to go in and take that child. That's how close to death that child was. And that man shot that photograph. He caught that in a photo. And he ended up winning a Pulitzer Prize for that photo. And a year later, he committed suicide because he took the photo, but he didn't do anything to help that child.
That was going to be my question. Did he shoo away the buzzer? Did he help the child? Wow.
Photo.
I mean, how appropriate is that story for what we're talking about? Having the right motive, having the right. Wow.
And it
That's
brought so much that he took his life. You know, the Pulitzer Prize for the photo ended up not being
right.
The thing.
But he probably dreamed of forever, you know. I remember I saw, oh, go ahead.
No, it just stabbed me in the heart.
Yeah, that's a tough story. Thank you for sharing it. I remember seeing an interview with Tom Brady. Tampa, my man Tom. Tom is, I have a kind of a weird crush on Tom. I got to be honest with you, because he's in Tampa Bay now, helped us win a Super Bowl. But anyway, I saw him after he won his third. And I forget who was interviewing him. I don't think it matters, but I wish I could remember who it was. It might have been Barbara Walters. Anyway, he was talking about, you know, his millions of dollars, his lovely, you know, beautiful wife, whom he always speaks very highly of Gisela. And I think at that time he had his first kid, and he had 3 Super Bowl rings. And he looked at the interviewer and he said, "There's got to be something more." Now, I'm a man of faith, so to me, it's easy what he's missing. In somebody who feel like is getting all of what that the world can offer and still feels empty inside. And that's kind of what we're talking about, right? I can make all the money. That guy as a photographer, that was probably his life's dream, was to win a prize for his work, right? And he's probably an amazing, gifted photographer, and that drove him. But he was confronted with something that, man, it's hard to look at a guy who's got 3 Super Bowl rings, Gisela, a kid, and saying there's got to be something more. There's still an emptiness in me. And I think we can find that. I know for us, and it's kind of hard sometimes because I don't ever want to sound like I'm, you know, over dramatizing things, but I'd be honest with you, and you all know, I mean, some of you guys, certainly Dana and a few of you all have been there. When you get that email, or you get that call, or you get that text where someone's life has really changed, where the first one that really got me, and she got me because she was so emotional about it. And I've mentioned this before, but she has an autistic child, 13 years old, who's never slept through the night. Every night he got up and knocked on the door 2 to 3 times, and they'd have to, you know, escort him back in, put him back to bed, and started him on our CBD, and he slept through the night, and so did she. She was bawling, and I'm a heavy sleeper. I've never had, so I didn't have the sensitivity to that. I do now, but then I didn't. But then you hear about, and this is a private group, so I can be honest, you know, nonverbal autistic children beginning to speak. Teachers of children with, you know, disabilities contacting parents. What's different? My best friend in the world getting off of a slew of opioids. I mean, just these amazing stories. And
14 months longer because of CBD and cannabis.
Right. And think about all the people that were affected in those 14 months, you know, that were associated with her story and had like similar circumstances, and were able to see that activity that produced a result for this family, and like, hey, we're going to try. So Dana, your influence spread exponentially through that whole season with Julia. No question. Yes, ma'am, Ms. Beatrice.
I want to first thank you, Dana, for sharing that story. That was amazing. one thing I found about sales, when you approach it with the attitude that Dana has, it may take longer to make the sale, but once you get the sale, you keep the sale. And not only do you keep the sale, but they give you referrals because they don't see you as someone just trying to sell CBD. They see Dana and the reason she's so successful, and I'm modeling myself after you, my dear. They see you as someone who cares. So your CBD or our CBD may be higher than what they could get somewhere else, but they're not going to leave because they're sold on you and they can trust you. And I think if I haven't learned anything else from these trainings and from my past experience, it's all based on relationships. Everything is based on relationships, not just sales, everything. I mean, and for me, the first relationship is my relationship with Jesus Christ. Amen. The second relationship is my relationship with people, with my family. And I really believe that it's taking me a long time to make some sales and I'm working on some things, but I know once they come, they're going to be solid and they're going to tell their friends about it. So I just want to say thank you for sharing that.
Thank you, Beatrice. You're so sweet. I just love you dearly. Thank you.
Back at you, my dear.
We do have some amazing people in our sphere here. All right, any questions or comments? Well, I'm
Glenn Brown is saying that he's just keeping in mind.
Glenn Brown. G. Brown, are you feeling any better?
That's a good. That's a good.
Not so good. All right, I got you on the list, Glenn Brown. I'll take you straight to the big guy. We'll see what he has to say about it all. All right. So I think we got people watching on Facebook. So here's what I'm going to do, you guys. Most of you, this is going to be a review. For some of you who have that are seasoned and may have reps that are joining or new people, this might be a good exercise to go through with them. I'm really going to probably start doing this every Thursday, Leandro, once the word gets out and it gets a little bit more regular, to where it is somewhat of an orientation. It is somewhat of it, but not just for new people, because we have a lot of. Who's that? Hold on. We have. There we go. We have a lot of people that honestly they joined, they did it a little bit or didn't, and now they're coming back. For, a myriad of reasons. We hear all kinds of life stories in this building on why people are doing what they're doing. So I just thought I'd go through the dashboard. Leandro, what do you think? Maybe 5-10 minutes. And okay, Beatrice, I see some veterans nodding their heads, so that gives me a lot more. So I'll hold on here. Share screen. There we go.
Now we got three new people.
Okay.
Tammy, Barbara, and Julie.
And Julie.
So we'd like to welcome them.
Yes. Welcome. Hold on, you guys. I only have one monitor in the studio, and sometimes it's hard to let's see. Here we go. No, that's not it. Here we go. No. Leandro, I lost my spot. Bear with me, you guys. Maybe it's on this one. Okay, so I'm just going to go to the dashboard. I had it open, but it's not anymore. Bear with me. I know you guys are seeing a bunch of crazy stuff here. I don't want to do that one, do I, buddy? All right. cbdbiocare. Pro. We're going to log in. Could you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. And I'll open it up as soon as I get done doing this, Leandro. All right. So I'm logging in here. Literally what I did, and we get questions a lot about, how do I get started? And so I want to at least have this video notice that there is a getting started first steps upon registration. Now we created, several months ago, what we call a knowledge base, and that's this. And the cool thing about the CBD BioCare Help Center is that this search parameter here is amazing. This is not a knowledge base for just reps. This is a knowledge base that encompasses everything about our company. We simply drive people to this particular page in our knowledge base when people get started. So I really just want to show you guys how easy it is. Please just come through here and just work top to bottom. There's certain things that we take for granted. It's almost, Leandro, like if you're in the passenger seat of somebody's car and they're taking you home and you don't think to tell them to go right because you just know to go right. Yes. So it's kind of like that in that there's a lot of things that even if we are intentional in training, we don't remember to tell them, like tracking links, little things like that. So definitely read through here. There's certain metrics that I can look at from a 30,000 foot view, you guys and gals, and I can see that there's clusters for negative and for benefit, meaning there's similarities. The people who do really well at our company engage. They are a part of what we are doing. They are in the Facebook feed. They are attending lives or watching them after if they can't attend them live, but they are intentional about engaging with CBD BioCare on many different levels. And that is true with anything. I mean, you think about any organization, group, team, you're better off interacting with your group, organization, or team. So it's not counterintuitive. It seems ridiculous to say because it seems so obvious, but I will tell you, it is extremely obvious that the people who engage are the ones who are getting commission checks and working through the commission structure. But, you know, I think our videos are fantastic. Leandro does a great job of editing them. My wife is
Hi, my name is Stacy Pitts, and my husband
is amazingly beautiful, and that's what she did for a living for a long time. She's very good in front of the camera, so I love that professional look. You should be proud to show that. But anyway, come through. Let me go to the top. Here we go. See, Leandro, this is why we're doing this today. We got to get through this stuff, buddy. Here we go. There it was. All right. Second is connect, just come through everything. All right, so this is kind of where you're going to go when you get started, is right here. It's first steps, and literally just go top to bottom and take your time. It's not a lot of information, but it will really help set the scope of how you understand how we operate. So here we go. The next thing we have is our sales rep store. I'm just working down the list. It's not in order of importance. We have registration packages, virtual packages, sample kits, print shop, and swag. So let's just kind of go through it. The registration packages are for people. Listen, we understand that some people, you have to make an investment in whatever you're doing. Ideally, in business, the investment would be both of time and money. I just told you that the time in my life where I was so broke, I'm selling jewelry. So I have definitely been in a season of my life where I had a whole lot more time than I had money. And I've been in a season of my life where I've had a whole lot more money than I had time. These are not, necessary for success. I would say that the basic business, which is basic, the reason that one is so important is because it comes with a landing page. The landing page is a difference maker when it comes to success or conversion rates or anything with our sales reps. So anybody who knows me, most everybody's been here for quite some time, knows that I am not the hard closer when it comes to investing in your business. But I would say, if someone were to ask, what's the one thing that you would tell me to do? I would say, search your couch, search under your car seats, and find $99 to get you a landing page, because that comes with a coupon code where you can offer your customers 5% off every time they purchase. And we track sales to you guys in many, many different ways, but that coupon code is probably the best. Because if your coupon code is Vatris, well, it's pretty obvious that sale goes to Vatris. So if there is something I would highly recommend, it would be this one here. The value, honestly, is in this business in a box. But again, that I tell you that with a very clear understanding that I understand not everyone has the budget for that. So we really try to provide something for everybody, kind of a small, medium, large type environment to accommodate both people with a budget and a little less time, want to kind of jumpstart things and get it going faster. Certainly throwing money at things can help, unfortunately. All right, so we'll keep moving down. Virtual tools. Here's the landing page is $99. I'm glad this is here because it gives me an opportunity for full disclosure. It's $49.99 to renew it the next year, and that's not you're not obligated to do that. We remind you, you can opt out, so it's not an auto charge or anything like that. In fact, if we don't hear from you, it will actually not renew. Email address. The virtual office kind of has a little bit of everything. So definitely, if you guys, kind of want to jumpstart things and get things going a little bit quicker, you can look at some of this stuff. Sample kits. This is an opportunity. Dana and Vatris and several of our top people, they buy these bundles and give them away and generate sales that way. It's, certainly not for everybody, but if you feel, good, there's no way you're going to get a better deal or, anyway, so you can buy these in bulk. That's what that's for. Different sample kits. So if someone's, the pet sample kits just came online pretty recently, and that was a recommendation by a rep that, deals in the pet market. So we wanted to provide something where the rep can purchase this sample kit and either use it so they have their own testimony, or use this to go and expose it to pet store owners and veterinarians and things of that nature. I've heard all the stories. Everybody does it a little bit differently. Print shop, just things that you can print that's already designed for you. This right here is new. The business card. If you have a landing page, this QR code will take people right to the landing page. So we really have upgraded that. We have some of the best graphic artists. In fact, I think we do. And Sarah, and then we have Leandro, who's our image and branding guy. And I just think that they do beautiful work. And for anybody who's ever bought this stuff before, you'll see with the quality of it and everything, this is not a profit center for us. We feel like the more of this stuff we get out in your hands, the more sales it's going to drive. So, you can look at anything, and this obviously is not a profit center, but I hope you guys are using it. We even have this sales binder in our catalog, but we also have our catalog available to print yourself for free. So again, that's just an indicator of how we're trying to make this available for everybody, because if we just did it for free, like, oh, I can't believe you're charging for your catalog. Hey, there are people that don't want to print it. They don't want to go to Kinko's. They don't have anything to do with that. They're very appreciative that we have it all done and laminated for them. So, I have an old saying. I remember I was one of my dad's friends was a Chrysler general manager. It's Roger Whitley, Chevrolet, excuse me. Roger Whitley Chevrolet here in Tampa. And my dad, his name was Burl. And my dad was good friends with him. And I showed up once and there was this like canary yellow Chevy something going out. It was just like, it was mustard yellow, not even canary. And I was like, Burl, how do y'all even sell a car like that? That is the ugliest car I've ever seen. And he says, hey, Pitts, there's a butt for every seat, my friend. And he was right. There's a butt for every seat. All right, so listen, we got this cool stuff. I mean, car magnets, banners that are all pre-designed, mouse pads, shoot. I like our shirts. So anyway, I just want to disclose this and hopefully, if you guys, like I said, if you guys can find some couch money, borrow something from somebody, honestly, the landing page will pay for itself almost immediately. That would be the only one I would say if you had, if you're going to do something, that's what I would do. But there's a lot more value in other stuff. Again, it depends on your budget. Okay. Sales marketing tools. Marketing challenge. Stacy and I have always kind of joked around about how this really isn't much of a challenge, because when you open it up, tomorrow's the 5th. If I open up the 5th, I've got an image here where I can promote the CBD boost for your immunity. Vatris, that's for you for tomorrow. And then I've got scripting here that I can choose to use or not. There's 2 options. We even, carry this. Sometimes there'll be more, sometimes less hashtags to put in there. So really, we want to take the thinking out of it. We know, and again, I'm going to go back to this theme that seems to, I didn't know, Leandro, but it seems like the theme is evaluate the activities you're engaging in and evaluate the results that it's producing. So we at a 30,000 foot level can aggregate those statistics. And I'm telling you, if the people who use this stuff make sales, it just is what it is. I know the reason I say that with a little bit of chip in my voice is because I'm the guy who would have tried to make it better, Leandro. I'm telling you, I would be the guy. In this environment, we know that there's other ways to sell CBD. We know that there's other ways that to do what we do. We're not saying that our way is the only way, but we know this way works. So the worst thing that can happen is someone could deviate from the system and find a little bit of success. Because the challenge is, if the mothership's not doing it, then there's really no support for that. Does that make sense? It's not a, hey, I don't like you, you're not doing what we're doing. It's like, hey, I'm doing this and that. And it's like, well, that's not what we're doing. So I can't help you identify if that's going to produce a good result for you. We don't have any data on that. We've been doing this now we're going on 5 years, Leandro. And we have a lot of data doing things the way we do. And we know that some of the things we've done in the past don't work. So, God forbid somebody go, oh, this is a good idea, and go do it. And we did that 2 years ago, and it ain't going to work, right? So we really wanted to create more of a system-driven environment, which is what this is, really. I mean, again, we go back, and when it comes time for the 6th, let's see what they have planned for us for the 6th. Whoop, I'm downloading it instead of just looking at it, Leandro.
We haven't placed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you haven't done it yet. That's right. So, and listen, you get an email the morning of to remind you of it. So Leandro just hasn't placed the 6th, obviously, because the 6th isn't, we don't need that. You got the 5th, we're ready to go. All right. So let's keep moving through here. Content library. I went through this. So I came over here earlier, Leandro, and kind of went through all this to make sure I didn't look you know, too much like an idiot. How-to PowerPoints, images. I mean, y'all, we got products, we got lifestyle, any product that you want, liquid capsules. I mean, it doesn't matter. Look at all this. You know, I mean, there is just, I don't even know. There's got to be thousands of pieces of assets in here, and it's all available, all royalty free. I am downloading more stuff on this computer, you know, logos. I mean, everything. So again, I know I'm kind of belaboring the point that we have so much in our system for you all to take advantage of. Join live meetings, the video library, and we are cutting all those videos down. Leandro has gotten very proficient at video editing. So we're cutting all those, you know, long Dr. Machowski and, you know, Dr. this, Dr. that videos to 5 to 7 minutes at most. And then it will also have the long version for people like my wife, Stacy, who would watch the whole thing. I would not watch a minute of it because I would look and see that it's an hour long. I'd be like, I ain't got an hour. I mean, I'm interested, but I find this information less than an hour. So we're really happy about that. Pricing sheets, catalogs, how to connect with the social media. Here's what I want to get to though, ad channels. I'm not gonna make this an ad channel training. All I want to do is expose this to people who don't know it exists. We do have in those how-to videos that we just saw, if you go in there, you can find a wonderful video that Stacy did walking through how to set up an ad channel, which is the easiest thing ever, and why to set up an ad channel, which is even more important. If you remember, Dana spoke some data to us earlier about number of clicks, number of sales, you know, she's able to do that because she's created some ad channels and deep links, which I'll get to in a moment, to better track her business. And that's what this is. Reporting's everything. And I'm going to go through our reporting in a minute just to give you a little scope of it for those of you who haven't seen it. Or for those of you who use it a long time, I bet you I'll show you something you didn't know existed. Because it always happens when I show these few things. Here, let's go into there now. So please, if you don't know what an ad channel is, why you would use it, how to set it up, please go to our how-to videos and see the ad channel video. It's probably 4 or 5 minutes long, literally. I mean, all our how-to videos are very short and very, you know, efficient. Okay, excuse me. Any questions, anything going on that I should slow down for, Leandra? Because I'm sharing my screen.
Matt, I just looked at my ad channel while you were speaking. I've had 140 clicks and 29 sales.
That's amazing. Because that's not even like I ordered free CBD. That's just people looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. Those are amazing statistics. Thank you, Dana.
You're welcome.
Okay, so the daily report, I don't know if that's going to have a lot of value to you. If you got a lot of sales going on, maybe. This is my account. I have tested this thing over the years and done a few things. So I do have some numbers in here, but obviously nothing for this month. This is all of March. So obviously if you had sales, it would only be applicable to here. I don't know how much I would use this. The one that I think everybody's interested in is this commission. And what I want to do here is open this up, but I want to show you all, and I got so much going on the screen, Leandro. It's really a drag. Okay. One of the things that I don't know if everyone knows, first of all, this is the way it's going to populate, but there's all kinds of filtering that can be done by hitting your little filter logo there. Most of this stuff, and mine's blank now, and there's a reason for that, but just go through your own so that you can see all this stuff. The one thing I want to show you all is that you can alter your columns. Now, I don't know what yours looks like, but I populate the customer email, the customer name, and the product that they bought. And the way to do that is simply to, you see a default view, simply come in here and you can choose which columns you want. I have different views on mine, probably not here, but on my merchant, I do. Yeah, here I do. I have a tracked view, which is going to pull up some different things, some different data points. The way to do it, if you want to make it change, say I want to put fixed cost and ID, and then change this to test view, and then come down here and just do save as a new view. And now you've got 3 different views. So you'll have an opportunity to manipulate your data. I'm showing this on your commissions, but these possibilities, although they differ from report to report based on the data within them, you'll always have opportunities to choose and move around any column. So if you want to move a column, you simply just put it here, we'll pull it over here, and boom. Now, one thing I also want to let you know is this Software is not really good, excuse me, with these. So if I move this over, look, that's the way it stays. So it's kind of, once you get it set up right, the way you want it, I would go ahead and save a view. So that report, because the easier it is to read and the more comfortable you are with it, the more you'll use it. And this goes for any report. You got payments. So when you get paid, you have this on your dashboard, plus you get a very nice invoice that looks better than this. But this will show you, like on 4/15/20, I got paid $58. And if I want to know what they're for, if you just click here, right in here, it'll show you each transaction. But like I said, when you get paid, you get a link and you can open a nice email that really outlines each one of them, and it's listed as an invoice. Sub-rep stats and list. If you do have reps, we have a lot of people who, they make a lot of sales in what we call a tier 2 sale, which is, let me go back to my commissions and I'll show you. Let me get rid of this. Yeah. All right. If you see, this is tier 2, second tier sales. So I haven't made any direct sales on this. This is all because I have had reps underneath, or, like I said, I was testing. So I placed people underneath me, and it just shows me 2-tier sales. One thing I want to show you, so you guys are going to see tier 1s, or type, it'll show 1-tier sale, or you can populate this column and or tier, and it would have the number 1 right here instead of 2. Obviously, the second tier sales are always 10%. Okay, so you'll see over here that whatever's here, 10% is going to be reflected as a commission. If you want to see where you are for commission raises do not take into account tier 2 sales. They're just direct sales. So here, I want to show you this real quick. When you want to know, hey, how the heck do I know when I'm eligible for a raise, or are they messing with me? Should I've already have had one? Which the answer is no. If you do one, you got one. But you can create custom filters. Here, you're just going to type in tier. It'll populate there as a, that's this column right here. Just click that is equal to, and click 1, and then go search. I don't have any. You see how there's no matches? But if you do it, it's going to show you just your direct sales number. And
Matthew?
then yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but can I add something really quickly to what you're saying?
No, please interrupt. Please
And for this, because I think this is a really wonderful thing that you guys did for us. Sales are accumulative when you're trying to build up to that next commission level. So it's not, you can explain that more, but I just love that whatever we've done carries over and keeps building instead of having to start over each month.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, and I'll tell you the story behind it. I think most people look at money the wrong way. And I've done it in my past. Matter of fact, the job that I had before here, if you have job criteria, right, as I was going to Awning Works to identify if I wanted to work there, normally it's what's the pay, what are the benefits, what's the time off, how far, and there's a list, kind of an organic list in my head. And I literally flipped that list over. It was like integrity of the company, opportunity for growth, proximity to home, lifestyle opportunity, was it? And that ended up being the job that got me prepared for this. So I say all that to say, I'm a guy who understands looking at money wrong. And most people look at money in terms of amount. I would encourage everyone within the earshot of my voice to determine the money by type of money. My stepfather was a dentist. I would say he made $400,000 to $500,000 a year in his private practice in a ritzy part of Tampa Bay area. And he died broke, literally. I paid 1/4 for his funeral and final expenses because he literally had nothing. And the reason is, yes, he made a lot of money, but he ended up getting a stroke and he had the tremors. And you can't be a dentist with shakes. So the minute he stopped drilling and filling, what else did he stop? Billing. His income stopped. So, and like I got a good friend of mine makes a lot of money in HVAC. But every year when January 1 comes, he starts back at zero, except for maybe maintenance. And that's what he's good at, is getting those, $49 a year. And I'll come back. And over the 30 years he's been doing it, he's built that renewal income. So when I built this commission structure, I wanted it to serve my definition of right type of income. Meaning if I sell $1,000 this month, I'm starting next month at $1,000. I don't go back to zero. And then let's say I sell $3,000 that month. Well, the next month I'm starting at 4, and you never go backwards. The only thing you have to do is stay active. And if you want to know what staying active is, go to the knowledge base. It clearly spells out. All you really have to do is have $19.99 and either a sale or purchase. That's it. It could be swag, it could be samples, it could be anything that's $19.99. And there's reasons for that I'm not going to go into. So yes, Dana, I'm so glad you brought that up because it matters to me. I am a salesman at heart. And that's why, I mean, honestly, if you look at our model, anybody who has any business sense at all, let me tell you the secret to this model. The secret to this model is always bringing in new people. It's always bringing in new people, because in a scaling commission structure, if I stop bringing in new people, all of a sudden I'm paying 40% on every sale I make. Does that make sense? So the 20%ers, the new ones, have to balance out our top reps. And that always happens. And thankfully, we've managed it very, very well to where our effective commission rate has always remained within 2 or 3%, and which is where, it's remained within 2-3% range, right? So yeah, that commission structure is not only generous, Dana, it is a little scary, because if we don't keep going, it could cause for us to have to make a lot more sales at the same amount of money we're keeping, right? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Dana.
And I know that wholesale accounts are wonderful. And I have, I think one, maybe I have two, I'm not sure, but I've built my business with customers. And I mean, if you really want to talk about money, we make more money on our customers than we make on wholesale orders. But what I really like about having my customer base versus having a whole lot of wholesale orders is I have a relationship with some of those customers. And with the wholesale orders, the lady that I have that is in Naples, Florida, I have no idea who she is. I don't know how she's even connected to me. I have a feeling it happened back when, I was working closely with Julia and her family, but it's my customer base that is my main focus.
Yeah. And like I said, there's a but for every seat, because we have some people that their whole focus is wholesale.
Yeah. And not to diss, wholesale
whatever works, right?
Yeah. But
That's the question about wholesale. When you said the commission raise is tier 2 sales do not count then. If I have a wholesale account with what they sell, is that considered tier 2, or would that go against my commission raise? The
tier is just let's take this. Let's say Leandro, signs up and he's a part of CBD BioCare, and then you come in under Leandro, right? So when you make a sale, Leandro's going to get 10% of that, and he's going to see it as a tier 2 to him. To you, when you make the sale, it's tier 1. And that's whether it's an individual, wholesale, doesn't matter. So anything that's direct to you absolutely counts towards your commission raises.
Now, what if I get an influencer, and what she sells, she signs up as a rep, she's an influencer, and she sells to her community. Mm-hmm. Does that go towards my commission structure?
No, it goes towards her commissions, but you would make 10% on all those sales.
I got you. Okay,
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, good. That's a good question. Thank you. Thank you for, I'm telling you, the more you guys ask and the more you engage is going to be the most helpful to people who really need this information.
And my name is Barbara.
Hey, Barbara.
And I just have a question. I'm new. I'm a healthcare provider, and I'm coming out of life insurance from working for Unum. And I'm excited about CBD. And thank you, Dana, Beatrice. I'm getting a lot of information from you all. My question is, I'm big on benefit fairs, and I want to get a tablecloth. Do you guys make them? I want to buy that, because that tablecloth is always.
We have one.
You do?
Yeah, we have one.
So just to order it?
Yeah, what I would do is email Jill. I don't know if it's on the site, but we've made one for a show ourselves.
Right.
So I know we have the artwork and everything ready.
Great. That's right.
If you don't see it in the swag, email Jill M at cbdbiocare, and she'll get you the information. We'll get that done for you. I love it.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Welcome aboard. Thank you for joining us, Barbara. Yeah. Okay.
And everyone knows, Matthew, just to clarify, we make 10% on wholesale orders and 10% on 2-tier sales. It's the same percentage.
Yes, ma'am. That is correct. And we do have people they've been around for a long time, but they make really good money. And they sell themselves too, but they make really good money as a tier 2. But they also have a relationship with most of them. So I'm not saying it doesn't work, but I don't know of anybody who's like massively recruiting and having success with it. I think it's people that, like you, Dana, you'll find a mother who loves it for their child, and they're like, I want to be able to represent this stuff too. And that's kind of more how it happens. I don't know of anybody that's out there, really doing it, to be honest with you. Just recruiting for that state purpose. What I am saying is that people are finding financial success, but I think it's just because it's happening organically over time. You know what I mean? I don't know if anybody's like running, job ads or anything like that, or opportunity ads. Okay, let me get through this last little bit. Okay, a tree of subreps. If you have subreps, you can take a look here and it will list them all out for you. Channel stats reports. This is, remember the ad channels that I told you about? This is where you're going to see the activity from that particular channel, whatever it is. And you can make, like, there's TikTok, there's Instagram, Facebook, email, a 3,500 email, right? If it's an email, obviously, in this case scenario would be where we're actually, advertising the 3,500 in that particular email. And maybe I'll do a 3,500 and 1,000 and go, oh man, the 3,500 certainly does work better. Like, people are more interested in that. So it does a great job of guiding your activity. Again, that's the theme, right? Find out what activity is actually producing a positive result in your life and engage in that activity more, right? And that's what I got to do and get in the gym, work out, because that activity serves me very well. All right, I've already done the payouts. Here's the deep link generator. We also have a deep link generating video that lovely Stacy has done. This, I'll just give you the definition of it. If you just send someone your unique tracking link and they click on that, they're going to come to our website, right, to the home page. But let's say you're advertising the 3,500 milligram and you want that customer or prospect to go directly to that page. That's what a deep link generator is. And I'm not going to, do it like I've got all these bars everywhere, Andro. But I want to show you. So I think I pulled it up. Let's see. So if we go here, all you're going to do, I'm going to show you how easy this is, because I know that I've had people that have found this to be intimidating. And I want to show you how simple it is so that it's not. All I'm going to do is I'm going to find the page that I want people to land on. That it could be this. It could be the free CBD. In fact, let's do that. I wanted people to go to this free CBD. I want to let people know that they can try it before they buy it. I want to get that kind of a response that Dana said, where it was a deal breaker, it was a life changer, the 1,000. Okay, so all I'm doing here is I'm highlighting this and copying it, right? That, you can do that, or Control C. You come in here, you'll want to always choose refer a sale. If you choose none, it's okay, but it's just better to choose that. Ad channel, if I'm going to use it, I'm going to do, let's say I'm going to do Facebook. You put your destination. So now all I'm going to do is copy or paste that URL, that's the free CBD, and I'm going to put generate code. Now, this is the link. This is the URL that you want to share. If you share this URL and someone clicks through, if you can see the extension here, and channel Facebook. So if someone clicks that, it's going to show up in that stats report, right? And then it's also got me, it's tracking Matthew, and it's also going to the free. So you can see this. So you can set up as many of these as you want. If you want to advertise each individual oil and let them all run one after another and see what works better. If you want to, try the 3,500 on Facebook and then Instagram and track those two, be like, man, Instagram seems to be working a lot better, or Pinterest, or whatever it is that you use. So anyway, I just wanted to go over that so that you guys don't think it's too intimidating. It's really, really easy. Okay. Quick stats, I don't think you're going to ever want to use. It's a little convoluted, and you don't need it because you have all these amazing reports here that you can work with. Typically, you're only going to work with commissions, payments to me. If you are a person that's got, a lot of sub reps, it'll show them it will show you their stats. And that's what this is. And again, you've got some columns that you can put in some, sale count, total cost, what do they sell? So look at Gary Uranovich, right? He's got some sales there. Gary's still an active. I think he is active. I just paid him a check. All right, so I think that's it. Let me do at least a pause share. We'll get back to it. Now let me do a stop share. There we go. All right, any questions, any comments, errors, additions, omissions, cares, concerns, anything you have for me today? Yes, Ms. Paula. Yes.
Hi. I've used deep links before, but is there a way to save them and go back and use them again?
Yeah.
Or do you have to just create a new one?
No, put them in Notepad. That's what I would do.
Okay.
Yeah, create a Notepad deep link and just start listing them down, and you can go in and copy and paste them when you need them. because they're not going to
Okay.
change. The only thing
Yeah.
that you want to make sure, and I don't see why it would, Leandro, is if the URL to the actual product would have changed in some way. But Paul, I don't see that happening. And no matter what, when you create it, I hope we all know this. When you create something new like that, go through and test it. Like go to a different browser, hit that link, make sure the click shows up. Know the data in Post Affiliate Pro updates, I think it's every 15 minutes. So you won't see it real time. So if you do it, click through it, and then give it a few minutes and you should see. And it's not 15 minutes from when you did it. So you could do it and it's on the 13th minute of the cycle and then it goes right away. So I just want you to, that happened to me. Like I was like, it's not working. Yeah. So I don't want you guys to fall for the same traps I fell through. Okay. Hey, it's 4:05. Wow. That really worked out. But we didn't really do a lot of mindset. We did a little bit of mindset. You know what? But we can refine this. I like this. I like this. Did you guys? And listen, for those of you like Barbara, this is a result of input from all of our reps. We literally, it was like, we feel like this is stale and we don't really see a lot of movement. And
Thank you.
yeah, what can we do? And so that's where this came from. Beatrice had, Dana, Val, several people had some comments. And I think that this is kind of a hodgepodge of all of them. You know what I mean? So thank you, all of you, for those comments and suggestions, and know that we always want those. I know I'm just pulling kind of a percentage out, but it's an educated guess. But I would say probably 35%, maybe 40% of the tools that we use now were originally suggestions from reps. It's true. It's true. A lot of the great stuff we do is a rep suggestion. The marketing challenge was a total rep suggestion, right? All right. Hey guys, thank you very much. I ended from here, right, Leandro? Okay. Hey, if you're on Facebook, man, you were the inaugural Facebook viewer to this duality platform thing. Man, it's late in the day. I haven't had coffee. I got to get out of here. Bye, you guys. Appreciate every one of you so much. Have a great, great weekend. And my email, Matthew@cbdbiocare.com. Please, if you have a question, you want to interact with me, you're the reason I get up every day. I mean it. The entire business flows through y'all. So know that I appreciate you all very, very much. Have a great weekend. Bye, guys.